Welcome back to Ben's Book Club. Today we are diving into the book, You've Got Money, Now What?
So let's get into Dave Gow's book. It's not about how to make money. It's about that often ignored, kind of messy challenge of how to live a meaningful life once you actually have it. We're going to explore that emotional second half of the financial journey. What the author argues isn't the finish line at all, but the real starting line.
Okay, so the first big idea in this book is that achieving financial independence, well, it isn't the end of the race. Not even close. It's the moment the real race actually begins. And the core takeaway here is that wealth should be creating options for you, not just delaying your life. This totally flips the central question you've probably been asking yourself. You go from pure accumulation, just watching a number on a spreadsheet go up, to application, actively designing a life of purpose with the resources you've already built.
Now, this brings up a problem that, honestly, we don't talk about enough. Hitting your financial goal can actually lead to this new kind of paralysis, and it's fueled by some really common but deeply personal fears.
Have you ever heard yourself say, just one more year? Yeah, that phrase is the classic sign of a very common trap. A lot of people get caught just endlessly hoarding because they're scared of the unknown, even when they're already totally financially free. It's that psychological pull, that little voice saying you just need a little more before you can feel safe enough to stop. And these are the four big hurdles the book really dives into. First, the identity crisis. Who are you without your career? Then there's the spending guilt that so many high savers feel when they finally get to spend their money. Of course, you've got that persistent anxiety about the market crashing. And maybe the scariest one of all, what am I actually going to do with all this time? So, how do you break free from those fears? Well, the book offers a really practical, numbers-driven blueprint for creating a sense of sustainable freedom.
What's great is the book pushes you to stop waiting for some perfect, far-off number. Instead, it gets you to look at what's already possible. It literally gives you the tools to calculate exactly how much freedom your current portfolio can buy you, right now, today.
And this brings us to a really cool concept called the flex rate. Look, it's not about having a bigger pile of money. It's about building in flexibility. The idea is, if you plan to slightly reduce your spending during down market years, you create this incredibly powerful safety buffer. And you do it without having to work for years longer than you need. And here's the trade-off it lays out so clearly. Would you rather work 5 more years, sacrificing thousands of hours of your life just in case? Or would you rather build a plan to just trim your spending a little bit if the market takes a downturn for a year or two? The author's point is that a little flexibility is way more valuable than years of your life. But the solution isn't just about the numbers, right? This leads us to the second part of the blueprint, which deals with all the questions a calculator just can't answer. Take the author himself, Dave Gow. He actually lived this. He hit financial independence at 28 after working as a forklift driver. His story really shows that a rich life after work isn't about doing nothing. It's about having the freedom to do different things that actually give you purpose. So the book is a huge champion of this idea of, redefining retirement. It's not some binary choice between grinding away or doing nothing at all. Instead, you can design a life that blends freedom with the structure and purpose that comes from things like part-time work, volunteering, or really deep hobbies. This is how you avoid those common traps of boredom and losing your identity. And that's the thing, right? This isn't just another personal finance book. It's really a bridge to psychology. It forces you to stop and confront how you actually want to live, not just how you think you should be living according to some spreadsheet. It really encourages you to define enough for yourself. Because once you know what enough truly is, you can finally stop saving for some future version of yourself and start living as the person you are right now. And that's the final question the book really leaves you with. Is that feeling of security something you calculate on a spreadsheet, or is it something you feel in your gut? The author argues it's the latter, and it's up to you to design a life that gets you there. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode.